high school. A place that becomes your life for 4 years. It's freshman year. And you may or may not be nervous, but you're about to enter a brand new world. You've been told by older generations that when you're a little freshman among a sea full of upperclassmen, you'll become fresh meat. Freshman year. I look back and freshman year was not terrifying at all. I don't even think I was nervous my freshman year, the first day. And freshman year opened so many doors for me. I walked into my high school, not the one I graduated from, this is Hesperia High School, thinking I knew absolutely everything. I was this guarded little girl who was so tough exteriorly, but interiorly I was so vulnerable and so naive and so oblivious to what was coming next. And freshman year, you know, I didn't open my eyes completely, but I woke up. And it dawned on me that there was so much more to what was around me. I no longer just read words. I read what was behind the words, what was in between. And freshman year was definitely one of those coming of age years for me, and we all have that one awkward, looking back makes you cringe, gives you goosebumps, and you have nightmares about it year. Sophomore year was that year for me. What was it about it? When I decided to switch over to Oak Hills, you know, any transition, whether it be moving from different states, getting a brand new car, any transition is difficult to adjust to. And switching from Hesperia to Oak Hills was huge. You know, I did it behind my mom's back. I got accepted at Oak Hills, and my mom had no choice but to grant me what I was now certified with. Sophomore year, I was definitely a little awkward person. I knew what I wanted. I had an idea of who I was, and I was, you know, for the most part, I seemed okay. But that year, it was just weird. You know, I was constantly embarrassing myself, and I was like a little ugly duckling. I still had my glasses, and I was always like falling behind the older people, like I was their shadow. I didn't know, I wasn't exactly confident with the idea of, you know, shining as a person. I didn't know that was okay. I always wanted to, you know, be myself and speak confidently and go out and exude what God gave me, but that year I was hiding. I didn't know if if people were going to accept me or deny me. So that year was definitely like, I was timid, and though I met a lot of people, and, you know, I did things I normally wouldn't do. It was just a year I would not repeat ever, 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 ever. And on to the golden year, junior year. The year that people said was going to be the hardest and the most challenging and the most scariest, because you're not yet there to graduate, you're not there for graduation quite yet, but you still have to think about what you're going to do with your life and where you're going, and you have to, you know, take all these tests and try your best. And I'm going to be completely honest, junior year was my least stressful, definitely. I had stressful classes, but my attitude was completely, you know, optimistic and positive, and I was always happy, and I was like, I'm gonna do this and that, and I'm gonna, you know, finally show people who I am and not be afraid to speak my mind, and I'm gonna make videos and post them on YouTube, and I'm gonna be all that I've been wanting to be. And that year was so amazing for me because of that, because I decided to open and speak my mind and, you know, just be myself. I was put into peer assistance that year. I didn't sign up for it. I actually thought I was pretty lucky because my sophomore year, when they were doing the classes, grad checks or whatever, my counselor was like, oh, we would like to have you in our beginning peer counseling program. And I was like, in my back of my head, I was like, oh my god, I'm special, they want me in this class. No, it turns out they just needed more people in it. Either way, I am forever and eternally grateful for that. That class is a big reason why I am who I am today. It made me realize that it's okay to be who I am, and to not be perfect. And that's why junior year was so awesome, because I was surrounded by so much support and so much love and so much positivity. And if it's one year I could go back and relive 1,000 times, it is that year. Because it was magical. I was in awesome plays with awesome roles and drama. I made awesome memories, and it was such a good year. And then comes senior year. Oh, senior year. Wow. Though senior year literally was 2 weeks ago, it was not my favorite. I mean, it wasn't terrible. Well, it was far from terrible. It was just so stressful. The stress I should have felt last year was the stress I felt my senior year. And probably because it was my final year in high school, and I had a hard time adjusting to change, and knowing that change was inevitable around that time was not the coolest news for me. I'm not gonna lie, I experienced some pretty badass things my senior year. I had the best festival scene. I was surrounded by the best people. We did Seussical the musical, and I sang. I actually belted on stage in front of hundreds of people, not even knowing I could ever belt like that, which was surreal and so awesome. But I think all of the happiness I experienced my junior year came to bite me in the butt my senior year. Maybe I was so happy, life was like, okay, Breezy, I'm gonna give you some tough blows and some storms, because you've gotta knock some sense into that brain of yours. You can't live in fantasy land forever. And that's exactly what happened. on came knocking life and its obstacles, and it was only preparing me for the now, right now, and it's time to start life. I was so scared, still am, but I've got a good head on my shoulders, and for you graduated people living your life right now, I think if we just stay determined and hopeful and don't lose track of who we are and always stay true to ourselves, you'd be amazed at what can happen and what dreams we can make our reality. And for that, I'm stoked and beyond ready.